What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we're back at Copart, the sublot here in Oklahoma City. Let's jump into this video today and see what we find. Well, it just wouldn't be right to start the video without the thumbnail, and that is what I presume to be a 1971 Dodge Charger. It's definitely a little hard to tell exactly what year it is from the condition of the body, but if you look, well, it looks like you've got the 4 headlights, you've got that big bumper that used to be chrome, but if you go around the back, that's what's really going to tell you what it is. Take a look at this back bumper. It is all-encompassing. It holds the tail lights and everything inside that bumper, which means they were probably the long tail lights instead of the little round ones. You can see some of it is all melted down in there. So yeah, I'm gonna guess this is probably somewhere right around a 71. It's not a 70, it's not a 69, it's definitely gonna be 71, maybe a little bit newer. I'm not an expert on these, but I know enough about them to get a pretty good idea of what generation I'm looking at. This thing burnt to a crisp, guys. There is literally nothing left of this car. Really sad, really, really sad. I'm sure it was an absolutely beautiful car. It's got a B&M shifter, it was an automatic, and it may even still have some gauges. Let's go over there, see what the gauges look like. I'm not going to try to pop the hood. I'm not touching anything on this car, guys. It's, you know, this thing's a wrap. Somebody might still be able to use it for something. I don't know. It looks to me like there's nothing left of this, and I would imagine under the hood is probably completely melted as well, but there's your gauge cluster right there. What's left of it. Nice round gauges. They look like they were sports gauges. You got some kind of a steering wheel, like maybe a Grant or something like that. It was a good looking car. Console, not a column shift, a console shift car. So sad to see a classic like this, a beauty like this in this condition. But there it is, there it was. And I was walking by this one, and I'm not even sure what happened to this. This was a Ford truck. I do believe it is upside down. Okay, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm fairly certain this is upside down, but it is bad when they are so bad that it's hard to tell which direction is up or down. Obviously, it hit something dead on in the center. Yeah, that was like the K-member that holds the control arms and everything, and it is moved all the way back. I mean, it's bad. There's your 2 frame rails, and I mean, this thing hit what looks like maybe a tree or a light pole head on, dead in the center, man. And it was dropped off upside down. So obviously after it wrecked, it had a big fire, and there's your engine. Little bitty V6, probably a little EcoBoost. And I'm about to cut my legs off here, but yeah, that aluminum body, gone. There's nothing left of it. The drive shaft is obliterated. I mean, I'll try to show it to you if I can even get you in here, but there's just nothing left. Let me get you down there, take a look. Can you see it? I don't know. I mean, it's bent like in half. Yeah, that's a wrap on that one, guys. Let me do a little bit of walking around. Let's see what else we can find out here. Well, you guys know I love my old schools, man, and it's not old school, but it's old enough to bring back some fond memories. 2-door Grand Am, probably like a 2000, 2001, and it is. Yeah, this one's done. Took a nasty hit in the quarter. Obviously, this is finished. I mean, these cars, even in good condition, these cars they're just not worth anything. Nobody wants them. I'll buy them, but when it comes to selling them, good luck, man. As a seller, you're never going to be able to sell these things. And, you know, buyers just aren't looking for something like this anymore. They weren't exactly notorious for being reliable cars to begin with. Whether you had the V6 or the 4-cylinder didn't matter. They were just, you know, they were creaky, obnoxious, plasticky, and yeah, as you can hear, not the best cars that GM ever made. In this, I don't think I've seen a single one that didn't have the headlights sticking out exactly like that. I don't know what the deal is with them. I still think they were good looking cars though. Right over here next to the Grand Am, we've got a BMW 335. It is a 2-door convertible covered in hail damage. I mean, this thing has got, it's got serious, oh, it's not just hail damage, guys. The front bumper is hanging off. Well, that happens sometimes when they get loaded and unloaded, tow trucks and things like that. Oh, wait a minute. What? Okay, so not only is this thing severely hail damaged, but also it's been in a minor accident. How bad is it? It doesn't look bad. Everything under here looks good. Yeah, the frame rail extension is good. Needs a bumper, needs a fender, needs a headlight, maybe a fog light. These fenders are plastic, which is kind of cool, and kind of not. Bumper, headlight, probably fog light, grille. Hopefully you get a complete bumper in the same color. Same thing with the fender. Maybe you could get one that matches. As far as the hail damage goes, so guys, I don't know. Like, this one is between the parts that need replaced from the accident and these major hailstone dents. I mean, this is significant. This is really significant. I wonder what the miles are on this one. Does it have any power? No, it doesn't. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not really... Hold on, there's the headlight right there. Hold on, let's take a look. There's your headlight assembly, which, nope, it's got an X on it, which means it's probably no good. Taking a look on the interior here, I don't see any power. And I'll be honest with you, I really don't think I want to take the time to even bother trying to jump start this thing, guys. It's just not worth it to me. We'll pop the hood real quick. Let's see what she's working with. Let's see if it's all stock or if it's got any aftermarkets. No, it looks 100% stock, guys. A lot of times people will get rid of this air cleaner and they'll put those big cone filters because this is a twin turbo straight six. It looks pretty good, guys. It looks pretty good, but this one's got a little too much damage for me to want to mess with, so I'm going to move on. We're going to find something else. Well, walking around, I'm not seeing a whole lot today, but you know, I saw a Tesla, and I know how much you guys all love Teslas. I'm kidding. I actually see so many comments when I show a Tesla that you guys tell me how much you really hate these cars, and that's a shame. I understand that there's some people that just don't like them for one reason or another, but I mean, at the end of the day, I still love the Tesla cars, man. I really do. I think EVs are interesting. They're fun to drive. I personally enjoy them. I don't own one currently, but I have owned 3 Teslas. I owned a Nissan Leaf. I owned a BMW i3. So I've had quite a few of these electric vehicles, and I'm telling you, they're absolutely great. I enjoy driving them. I'm just not ready to convert to electricity. And I'll be honest with you, it's not just me. It's a lot of you guys want nothing to do with it. And, you know, if we're being completely honest, I don't think our infrastructure is capable of handling an entire country switching over to electric vehicles. I don't know when we're all supposed to be switched over to EVs, but I'm here to tell you, it's not going to happen for me. Even if it was like mandated, I don't know. We'll have to figure something out, because that ain't going to be me, guys. I am not ready to switch over to electric vehicles. I think they're interesting, they're unique, they're different because they're still relatively new. They're fun, but I don't think I'd want to make it my only car, you know, to get around all day, every day. Not for me. You guys comment below. Tell me what you think, though. We're kind of wandering around, meandering through the yard here, trying to see what there is to see without getting sliced up, because there's a lot of sharp stuff going on out here. Most of these are just severely wrecked. The majority of these over here in this row are, they're pretty bad off, guys. So I don't expect we're going to find... Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I don't expect we're going to find much over here in this row. There's so much for us to go through. And this row seems to be primarily just a bunch of really, really badly destroyed cars. Ooh, that's pretty gnarly. This thing's definitely got some miles on it. Looks like it has power, though. I got my booster pack. I just left it in the truck. So I'm being very cautious about what I decide to mess with on this video. Key not detected. Well, the key's right here. Great. There we go. Right? Let's hit the gas. It should fire right up. And it does. Ooh. It's making a little bit of noise there. A little bit of rattling. What do you think? Oh, it's mad because I've got the door open. hold on. I mean, this car stinks, and it's definitely not in the best of shape, but I would love to know what kind of fuel economy this thing's been getting, if it even has it saved. Let's take a look. Well, not bad. 42 miles a gallon. I mean, it's definitely not great, but 42 miles a gallon isn't bad. Let's go back. Hold on. Where did it go? There it is. Over the last 1,802 miles, 42 miles a gallon. It still says the key is not detected. The key is literally right here. Right here. What's the problem? It's having some serious issues right now. 200,000 miles on the clock, which for a Prius honestly isn't bad at all. It's got a cracked windshield, pretty bad. I'm going to assume that windshield is probably pretty expensive. This is a pedal car, which means, oh wow, we got a lot of lights that just came on. Brake light, TPMS, check engine, ABS, traction control, yellow warning sign, slip control. There's a lot of lights that just came on the dash up there. This is a pedal car, which basically means somebody just wanted to get rid of it. Some of these cars are absolute junk, and some of them are absolutely decent cars that just need a little bit of work. It's a mixed bag, so you never really know exactly what you're going to get. This does not have leather. It does not have any fancy options, so this is probably like a Prius 1. It goes forwards. It goes backwards. It goes into park. Air conditioning? Let's try that out. Let's turn the temp down. I always got to know if the AC works. 200,000 miles really is not that bad for a Prius. Important window works. Less important window works. And it just shut off. Car just turned itself off, which is fine because it is a hybrid, and I'm pretty sure the air conditioning on these cars is electric. It does not use traditional, old school, like mechanical belt-driven compressors. This runs off of electricity, and the air conditioning is cold. It's getting colder and colder, slowly, but yeah, cold air conditioning. All right. I mean, it's got hail damage, which is probably why the windshield is broken. This is not too shabby. Let's open the hatch, take a look back. Oh boy. So yeah, I'm willing to bet she's been sitting a while, guys. You got a bunch of carpet, a bunch of pieces back here. You've got this teeny tiny, it looks like an Optima yellow top battery with a lot of corrosion. A lot. That could definitely cause some problems with the electronics in this thing. Tires look to be in pretty good shape. They're Yokohamas on the back. And we've got something else on the front. Douglas on the front. Let's take a look under the hood. Hybrid Synergy drive. I mean, I don't see anything that would make me, you know, afraid of buying this car. It's got another Douglas on the front and a Yokohama on the back there as well. So matching front tires and then matching back tires. That was a direct hit from a hailstone. That sucker did some damage. So immediately, you're going to need a windshield. And it does have significant hail damage. And you can tell by looking at it, this car's been parked a long time. Take a look at the roof. I don't know how well it comes out on video, but the roof has got a lot of like mildewy substances all over it. Same thing with the rear spoiler over here. Just really, really dingy and covered in like mold and mildew, probably from sitting under a tree. That AC is nice and cold though. And if you hit the gas, engine fires right up. It sounds great. You just got to figure out the no key issue. Maybe it's just got a dead battery or something. That would be my guess. If we shut it off, will it start back up again? No key. Put the key onto it. There we go. Yeah, and now it's ready again. And fires right back up. Sure does. It's a little bit of a whining noise. I don't know what that is. and a lot of warning lights on the dash. A lot of warning lights. So that's something to take into consideration. Hey, listen, if you're looking for a cheap Prius, these are absolutely great. Just be aware that these things are notorious for burning oil. They typically have problems with the EGR coolers and EGR valves themselves. They get all gummed up, clogged up. It'll cause, I don't know, I can't remember if it's like cylinder 3 or cylinder 4 or something like that. It can cause them to get too hot and you end up with cylinder damage right around that particular cylinder. So as long as you're aware of the problems that these cars have and you're willing to take them on, you know, a 200,000 mile Prius, you could probably get this thing for next to nothing and have yourself a really decent, cheap little hybrid. Now here's another example of a car that should be relatively cheap. An old school Hyundai Elantra. Still one of my favorite old cars, man. And you can laugh. I already know some of you are. That's fine, but I'm telling you, I love the Hyundai Elantra. When this thing first came out, I thought, wow, Hyundai really went all in on the design of this car because it looks sleek. You got really nice sharp angles, but they also integrated a lot of these really flowy lines that go along with it. Look at the wheel arches on this thing and just the shape is beautiful. The tail lights, I mean, they integrated so many curves and so many angles on this car, it almost didn't make sense. But at the same time, it all works together to make what I think is one of the nicest looking Hyundai Elantras that Hyundai has ever produced. For example, take a look at these taillights. They're really bulgy. They stick out right past the body lines, but they're really curved. But then they end in this sharp angle. Right, same thing over here, very sharp angles, but then you have all of these bulging curves going on here, man. Absolutely gorgeous. You get around to the front, you're going to find the same thing in the headlights. You know, they stick out kind of like bug eyes. You know, they're really curved, but then they like to end them in these relatively sharp angles. Somehow, they put this thing together and just made it beautiful. Look at the fog lights, you know. Again, they flow really nicely. And they're very curvy, but they end in very sharp angles. Lots of sharp angles inside as well. In my opinion, it is a beautiful car. And these things they're normally pretty dang reliable, man. This one's from an insurance company, so most likely it's going to carry a salvage title. We'll take a look at the interior real quick. And I love the color scheme. I do. I like this color. I think it looks good. It smells decent. Let's go up front. Same thing. Just a very nice looking car. Economical too. These things will get, well, I don't remember what the fuel economy is on these, but I'm thinking probably mid to high 30s. Definitely mid 30s and something like this. And they're usually pretty cheap. I was just wondering if it was stolen. Like, maybe this is one of those. That's another problem with the Kias, though, and a lot of people are steering away from these cars because it's so easy to steal them. And it doesn't look like Kia or Hyundai's really done much about it. Hopefully, you know, something changes with that in the future. Now, there's still CDs and underglow lights. But, yeah, there's no keys with this car. The good news is the ignition hasn't been punched, so I'm curious if the wheels are actually turned that direction or if they hit something. And you've got, you know, wheels turned in different directions on this car. Let's take a look in here. We got cigarettes, amongst other things. Yeah, with no keys, though, it's not going to do us a whole lot of good. We can't really check anything out. One thing I will look for, though, is I've got this wheel right here, turned slightly to the left. Here's another interesting thing. These tires are completely dry rotted. There's nothing left of them. So I'm wondering if maybe this is like an old school theft, and it's just been parked, sitting somewhere for years and years. I'd love to know what the miles are on this. It says lost type all over. That's all it says. And this is a recent pickup. It just got here 11/22, so it hasn't been here too terribly long. Same thing with this tire. I mean, you could tell this thing's just been sitting on flat forever. The contour of the tire, of the rubber, is not round. This thing has been parked for a long time. So very interesting. As far as the all-over damage, I see a few dings on it here and there, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy at all. It'd be interesting to buy something like this, get a set of keys made for it at the local dealership, and find out if it actually runs. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Definitely drop your comments down below and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Till next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.